That is the Jaguar F-Pace for you. When Tata Motors in the year 2008 bought Jaguar and Land Rover from Ford Motor Corporation, the most difficult job they had was to bring back the legacy of Jaguar as a brand. And of course, fast forward to 2017 when they launched the Jaguar F-Pace, the biggest question was, are they going to bring back the elegance, the luxury, the sportiness? Of course, let's get to find out on this epic review of the Jaguar F-Pace. One of the most difficult things to do as a car manufacturer, especially I'm talking about Tata, when it comes to buying a brand from another brand, because they bought the Jaguar and Land Rover from Ford, is trying to make that brand resonate with the people that enjoyed that brand before. And of course, we know Jaguar for performance. I'm talking about the XE, I'm talking about the XF. That is what we know about Jaguar. And Tata Motors under the JLR group, what they did with this car is combine a blend of performance and bring in the Range Rover luxury aspect to make this car quite complete. And if the question was, are they making a car that complements the both of those two words? And the answer is 100% yes. On this F-Pace, they nailed it, because this car gives you the exact what it was designed to do. And that is down to one very special thing, and that is the suspension. So what you get at the front of this car is your double wishbone suspension, and then at the rear you have what you call the integral link multi suspension, which is quite special. It makes this car quite comfortable, but if you snip it into sport mode, then this car becomes a very aggressive and handling machine that you'll rely on anytime you're taking corners. And that is something that you'll not get in the competitors. Like if you're buying a GLC, mostly Mercedes-Benz will lean more towards luxury and comfort, and you're buying the Mercedes, the BMW X3, then you know BMW will be leaning towards sportiness and just making that car a pure driving pleasure. But here you have both of those two worlds. That is something I really appreciate about the Jaguar F-Pace. Perfection is achieved not when there's nothing more to add, but when there's nothing left to take away. That's the best way I can describe how this Jaguar looks. Simple, elegant, with majestic curves that just flow all the way to the rear of this car. A special thanks to Jaguar for giving us LED headlights with a daylight running strip that doubles up as a side indicator as well. And the Jaguar logo that, together with those cameras on the front windscreen, they'll give you things like emergency braking, front-forward collision mitigation, lane departure assist, and lane departure warning. Such a genius idea to have on this Jag. Of course, not to mention adaptive cruise control. There's little that will give away that this Jaguar is an R-Sport away from that badge that is just clacked up on the side of this car. And in case you're thinking you want to buy the SVR variant, then just know that the only thing that will make that car again distinct is a small SVR badge here and the red calipers on that car. So that is how subtle, easy, and simple the design language of Jaguar is. And I must say, for the longest time, people have been looking forward to the design of the XC60. But I must confess, for the first time, there is a car that will give the XC60 a run for its money. And that is nothing less than the Jaguar F-Pace. This being an R-Sport, it means the diesel plant that is powering this car is a 2-liter Ingenium diesel plant, turbocharged. Of course, it's a variable geometry turbo. And by that I mean the power output you're getting from this car is 237 horsepower against 500 Newton meters of torque. And that makes you able to do this, which is quite beautiful. Now, if you're crazy enough, I'll tell you, you can buy this car with a badge SVR. And that SVR will give you a 5,000cc supercharged petrol engine that sounds like and of course, that is the ultimate buy if you're planning to buy an Fpace and you're looking for power and performance. And if that is something that you don't like, you can also get this car with either V6 petrol or a V6 diesel. And if that is still something that you feel it's beyond you and you're handling energy, then you can get yourself a 2-liter petrol, the same one that will give you almost similar power figures and fuel economy as this 2-liter diesel that is powering up this car. And of course, this is an R Sport, so you get a bit of performance clones or ideas going on. And if you don't like the sportiness, you can see how this car looks red. Everything is red. It looks just beautiful and awesome. You can also buy this car in other trims like the Prestige and the Portfolio. And of course, those ones come with a few different unique touches here and there, necessary for how their names suggests. What could possibly go wrong when you buy this Jaguar F-Pace with a 2-liter diesel turbocharged engine? I'll start from minor to major. So the minor ones are quite straightforward. Jaguar, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, VW have this thing where they use a bit of plastic when they are connecting their cooling systems. So the plastic planches on this car are prone to getting old, brittle, and break. So if you buy this car, it is fair that you always check the flow of coolant and whether those plastics are still hold up in terms of their quality. And if you sense that there's any drop or loss of coolant, make sure you replace that junction pipe or that plastic flange, and then you will be good to go. Problem number 2, because these are Euro 6, and we live in a third world country. Euro 6 meaning it accepts 10 parts per million of sulfur content. Now, hapa Kenya or Africa, we're only accepting Euro 4, so we are doing 500 parts per million. It means there is a frequent things that you have to deal with when you buy this diesel engine. Number 1 is the EGR clog up, again, because of high sulfur content from the fuel and the oil that we use to service this car. Number 2 is the DPF clogging as well. So DPF, again, it's something that we've talked over and over again. So what will I recommend? 50,000 kilometers, 40 to 50,000 kilometers, take away the EGR valve, clean it and put it back. You'll have a safer way of driving this car. Same to the DPF. Occasionally, clean it up again. Around 50 when you're on the 6th or 7th service. Kindly do clean up your DPF and you'll enjoy your service on this particular car. Now, to the final one. And the biggest problem that you will experience when you buy the 2-liter diesel engine is the timing chain snapping. Now, these cars are meant to be serviced or the chain to be replaced anything between 100,000 kilometers all the way to 150,000 kilometers. And that is down to how you sit. And when I mean you sit, it means you have to listen to any rattle in the engine when you start it off at a cold start, and that will give you an indicator on whether you're ready to have that service item done. So anytime you start in the morning and you hear a little rattle, know that time is ready. So it could be 100,000, could be 120, it could be 150. So this is down to you being keen to make sure that this car serves you as you need it to. Because if you don't, you're going to pay a pricey figure for fixing that problem. And as I went out, as I told you earlier, this is an R Sport. And down here is just a small ECU written TDI tuning. It has a tune from 1 all the way to 7. So it means you can actually get more power from this car. Hold up for a second. In case you're planning to buy this particular Jaguar F-Pace 2018 R Sport, remember you can get it from Aspide Motors along Chania Road on your way to Yaya Center. Ukienda pale, tell them Ibrahim Kutuma from Conversation and you get yourself a discount of 100,000 Kenya shillings on this particular unit. And if that is not all, if you're looking for a car and you need us help you sourcing for one that is in good condition, good shape, and in case you also have one that you've already found and you need a pre-purchase inspection, then remember, Conversation is your home. Numbers and contacts iko pale description. Just hit us up and we're there to serve you and make sure your car ownership experience is dope and secure. So what are the unique elements of practicality that you get on the F-Pace? The first one is an electronic tailgate that really comes up quite fast in comparison to most cars I've reviewed on the channel. And one thing that you get here is 650 liters of practical boot space when your second row sits up, and when you fold that seat, which is done conveniently on top of the seat itself, there's a place where you can hold and fold the seats. You will translate this practical boot space to 1,760 liters of humongous practical boot space. Now, on top of that, as many other cars are choosing to go with a tire repair kit, what Jaguar have made it possible for you to have is a full spare wheel tire under the hood, which makes it quite awesome. For an SUV, I believe this is something that should be emulated by any manufacturer out there. Looks nice. Now let's talk about one other practical aspect that you get that is quite unique and special to the Jaguar F-Pace. Of course, I'm comforted with the fact that there is no lip here, so meaning putting on and off your luggage is quite easy. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the AWD system that you get on this Jaguar F-Pace. While other cars are prioritizing front-wheel drive, and then they kick in the rear-wheel drive when you need it, Jaguar, having a pedigree of performance, makes sure that you have the rear wheel more active than the front wheel. In fact, on this particular car, it's only the front wheel that comes in case this car, using so many other sensors like the ABS, the traction control, to analyze whether you need it, and then it kicks in the front wheels to give you better traction. But from a glance, I'll tell you, this car has all the performance elements attached to it. It's actually a rear-wheel drive bias, and that makes Jaguar still stand out in this segment of these SUVs.
As you open the driver's door of the 2018 Jaguar F-Pace R Sport, you are immediately greeted by an aura of refined British craftsmanship, fused with sporty elegance. The interior layout is driver-focused, yet spacious and welcoming to all occupants, with every detail crafted to exude luxury and purpose. The seats, wrapped in supple-grade leather, are contoured for support during spirited driving, but plush enough for long-distance comfort. In fact, these ones have a red color going on, which just makes this car feel more sportier. In R Sport trim, they come with bold contrast stitching and embossed with R Sport badging on the headrest, a subtle reminder of the SUV sporting pedigree. Both front seats are 10-way power adjustable with memory functions that recall your ideal driving position in an instant. Front and center is the 10-inch Touch Pro infotainment display, seamlessly integrated into the dash. This high-resolution touchscreen offers crisp graphics and intuitive navigation, which features such as in-control apps, Bluetooth connectivity, satellite navigation, and premium Meridian sound system, delivering rich, immersive audio throughout the cabin. In the rear, passengers are treated to generous legroom and headroom, along with rear air vents, USB charging ports, and a 60-40 split folding rear seats that expand the already generous cargo space when needed. The panoramic glass sunroof, standard on many R Sport models, floods the cabin with natural light, enhancing the sense of openness. Practicality hasn't taken a backseat either. There is a power tailgate, keyless entry, and reversing camera with parking sensors, making day-to-day usability as effortless as its style. Having all these features and still being able to do 20 to 22 kilometers per liter of fuel economy is such an amazing aspect of the Jaguar F-Pace.
One thing I expect less of a car of this caliber, that is the F-Pace, is of course when it comes to build quality. You know, a car that has been built on the same platform as the Range Rover Velar, I believe Jaguar did a good job in picking some of those elements and translating them in the interior of this car. And I can tell you, the sound cushioning, you know, it's superb. This car feels premium. The material used to design this car in the interior is just superb. However, there's something that we need to put to test and confirm whether Jaguar again lived up to that expectation. I know this is a diesel plant, but we know it's an R Sport. That's what we know from the beginning. And one special thing that has been paired to that 2-liter Ingenium diesel turbocharged engine is a ZF transmission. Just not any other ZF transmission. It's an 8-speed automatic ZF transmission. One of the best transmission ever designed in the modern day era. So now, the only thing that we need to do is get into a position, launch this car, and confirm how will she perform 0 to 100. And can we also get her to a quarter mile and maybe half a mile? Let's do that. So here we are. It's raining. It's also a good time to test whether the Jaguar pedigree of performance will match up to this set of conditions. So my drag is already set up, and I'm going to come down to the terrain response system that doubles up as a driving mode select as well. And I have Eco, and then on top of Eco, I have rain, ice, and snow. Of course, I won't use it now because I need to get the performance out of this car. And then after Eco, I have normal, then I have dynamic. Now, dynamic is the sportiest driving mode of this car. And when you turn dynamic on, everything goes red, as you guys can see. So I believe we are ready to do this. So everything is sport mode. The engine is dynamic. The steering is in dynamic. This steering wheel is electronic as well. So it firms up a little bit to give you that ounce. Remember, I told you the AWD system on this car is the rear wheel biased, and then it only reads traction and then launches the front wheel active. So are you guys ready to do this? Is the Jaguar F-Pace going to keep up to its legacy of performance? Let's see. Put down on the brake and launch. Ooh. On a rainy day, let's see what Jaguar has done. What has Jaguar done on a rainy day? Don't disappoint me, Jaguar, please. Don't disappoint me, Jaguar. 0 to 100 in 8.38 seconds. Quarter mile in 15.94 seconds. Nothing short of what Jaguar promised. Now, the R Sport diesel plant, 237 500 Newton meters of torque, is capable to propel this car in a good setup environment that everything else is okay. 0 to 100 is 7.1 seconds. So getting 8.3, that's a second late because of the condition that this car has, is nothing short of a legacy confirmed. When all is said and done, the only one reason that I'll choose to buy the Jaguar F-Pace is for its unique styling. It's a car that will make me stand out from everybody else who is driving the GLCs, the X3s, and the X4s. And something else that it comes along with is the fact that it has brought back the Jaguar's legacy. And that is sportiness, luxury in a compact, practical package. See you on the next one.